Hi, I'm Kippi from KippiAtHome.com. Welcome to my home and welcome to my channel. Tonight we're going to be crafting up a beautiful bow, and it's called the Messy Bow. But it's not so messy, but it's a little rustic, and you can use any kind of ribbons you like. And they can make, if you make them a wee bit shorter, well, you can put them in your hair if you want to. But look how cute that turns out. They are so cute. And I decided I would just use my little sign from the Dollar Tree. I changed it to buffalo check, my favorite, and I thought maybe I'd add a little bow to it. Now, let's get started making this cute little bow. All right, here's our adorable little sample bow, and I'm going to show you all how to do it really quick. The first step is going to be to select your ribbon. I'm just starting out because I want to make the same bow again. They're going to be two of the same, so I'm going to use my burlap on the bottom. It's 2.5 inches wide. I have the links for my resources in the description below, so make sure you take a look at that. So I'm going to cut them about 7 to 8 inches long, and I cut them all the same size, and then I'll kind of layer them. But just so we start out and we're all kind of the same size, it's easier to neaten them up to begin with like that. So I'm just going to look back over and see that my next ribbon is a red ribbon, and I'm going to use that. And now these are kind of a more like, I don't know, natural fiber, so they have a little stiffness to them. They're a little bit harder to deal with in this, trying to get them to go kind of that wave look back and forth. But you'll see that the other ones actually wave better, but they're harder to manage until you get to that point. But they turn out gorgeous, so it's so easy. I'm going to cut a piece of the black and white buffalo check for my center, and I'm just going to fold it in half because it's a little bit wide to just knot, and then I'm going to set it aside, and I will put that across the center. Then I'm going to cut another piece of the same size of buffalo check to be one of my ribbon streamers. And now this little buffalo check is more narrow, and that's okay. It's more interesting for them to be different sizes, and you'll actually see the ones underneath better if the ones on top are a little bit smaller. So kind of staggering their sizes and colors so you don't put too many colors together, it works out best. This ribbon is left over from a bow that I disassembled from Christmas time. So you can see it's a little bit wrinkly, but it doesn't mind. It turns out fine. So what I've learned during this past year, is that you can upcycle and recycle and conserve like you never thought you could. So we can still make pretty things, and we might have to, like I said, disassemble something from the holiday before, and that's fine, or from last year. So my last little piece of the ribbon, of the official ribbon with wire, is going to be the burlap. Then this is a ribbon that is does not have a wired edge, and the non-wired ribbon and the little piece of pom-pom trim are a little bit harder to get them to stay in place, but they're definitely the messy part. So if you like it messy, put more of those kind of items in there, and you get the exact look you're looking for. Oh, now I'm ready to assemble. I have all my little ribbons cut, and I have my little knot in the middle, and I have a zip tie. So now it's just a matter of putting them in the same order that the original bow that I'm using as my template, so to speak. I've just got to do the same arrangement so I get the same kind of look. So they're companions. So I'm just going to layer one on top of the other, and once I get them all layered, then I'm going to kind of fan them out. One going, you'll see, one going one way and one end going one way and the other end going the other. So we've kind of have it kind of a little bit of a wave, and then I'm going to scrunch it up in the middle. So now I'm adding these two little uncooperative pieces on the top, but that's okay. We'll get them lassoed up in just a second. So you can see how we're fanning, and we can work with this a little bit more after I put the zip tie on. And when I go to zip tie it, scrunch it up in the middle and put the zip tie. I don't want to tie it down really, really tight to begin with. I kind of have a loose tie on it. You'll see I'll zip down, but not all the way tight, so I can make some adjustments. All right, we're just going to pinch it in the middle and going to make a few adjustments even after I put the zip tie on. So make sure you don't put that zip tie on as tight as it can go. You want to make sure it's in the center, and then after you make sure of that, and I fold my bow in half to see if they meet in the middle, and if they do, then I pull my zip tie tighter. I'm going to cut it off with my favorite nippers, and I will put the link for that in their description below. You definitely want a pair that doesn't fatigue your hands, and these are the best I've ever used. So I was thinking, that's sticking out a little too much, so I can get in there really close with these. And once I'm happy with it, I'm going to be putting my center tie on there, the one that we cut out earlier, and then I can tie it around. Now, if you want to use a wire or a chenille stem, you would want to put it on before you put this on, or you can actually put it under your zip tie, so zip tie holds that all together. So that depends. This one's going to be hot glued, so it doesn't matter for that. Just trim those little excess off. You will be hot gluing this one, and if you're not, you can actually leave those long and tie it to your wreath or whatever it is that you're doing. A hair barrette, if you're making a small one for hair bow, that's fine. Whatever works for you. So now I'm going to manage these ends and I'll be working with them a little bit, trying to get them one side to kind of go one way and the other side to go the other, and then trimming the raw edges, the cut ends. I can't tell you anything I enjoy more than fluffing a bow, but we got to get those ends cut. So my favorite look is this little chevron. So you just fold the piece of ribbon in half and cut from the center out to the edges in that diagonal to form the triangle, which when you release it, turns into this cute little chevron end. So some of the ribbons fray a bit more than the other ones, but I think it's all beautiful. In the end, it doesn't have to be perfect, so that's part of the rustic look. So I'm going to get these done, and we will get that bow put on my cute little wall hanging. And I just wanted to let you know that down below, if you like to make bows, which add so much character to your decor in your home and anything, florals, wreaths, I have a whole list, a playlist of just bows. So I will link that below so you can see it in the description as well, and you can just enjoy them all. And I'd love for y'all to leave me a comment about which is your favorite bow. Well, it's pretty much a wrap at this point. They turned out so cute. Won't they be adorable on my Valentine's? We're just trying to do something different this year. We try to update and change some things just to keep everything fresh. I use basically the same things, but I add something new every year, and I like to change my bows. So here they are, and I'm going to put one of them on my little sign. I might even update the sign, but for right now, I'm going to use it as it is. The one thing that I did change about the sign was the little hang ribbon, because I wanted it to actually match my buffalo check. So I'm just going to replace it with a little piece of ribbon that coordinates with the bow, and then I will choose the placement of my bow, and it is ready to be hung. We're just about there, and I'll do a few more fluffs, and then I'll get out my hot glue gun, and we will say she's finished. All right, y'all, have a happy Valentine's Day. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you soon.